Two Ham Nation, man. Welcome back to the journey to greatness. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. As you all saw by the title, I'm not motivating you today. Today I want to teach people about what it's like living in Washington, D.C. Because I know how it was when I was moving around and I was looking for places to go. And like, I feel like sometimes we all go to YouTube and like we put in, what is it like living here? This is this. But you want to find somebody relatable to you, somebody with a similar personality. And like, I personally feel like anytime that I have went looking, there's nobody that got my type of energy in the places that I be going to that I see at least on like YouTube and stuff. So I'd be like, man, maybe it's other people like myself out here. And I mean, think of how many people on this journey to greatness with me. And like, I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me show y'all what it's like. So I've definitely, a little bit about me, you know, I've lived in 2 different countries. I've lived in the States. I've lived almost, well, 1, 2, like in 4 or 5 different places. I travel a lot. I've seen a lot. Like, you know, I got a lot of experience when it comes to dealing with people and dealing with circumstances and everything. So I believe I'm a good outlet for a lot of people. So let's get right into it. So what is it like living in the nation's capital? So I'm gonna be a little bit biased because I was born and raised in Washington, D.C. So you're gonna get a little bit more like, you know, that in-depth style right here. That actually I don't speak in East Coast lingo at all. Like, you won't hear me saying, what do people saying? Mo. I don't talk like that. So that's just me personally. But all right. First, let's start off with diversity, because I think that matters the most. DC is the most diverse place on the planet, I feel like. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, so I just moved to Cali recently. I'll tell y'all about that. We'll go into that another time. But man, it was a true culture shock to be in a place that has every single race imaginable, and then to like go to a place that only has 1 or 2, max 3, like, and everybody was just rare. Like, it was tough. It was a tough adjustment initially because like in DC, man, you got black, you got white, you got Hispanic, you got Indian, you got Asian, not as much. Okay, so I do know like some Asian people, but I would say not as heavy as the West Coast at all. Ethiopian, Eritrean, even though some people are like, bro, aren't they the same? No, not in DC. They think they're different, but whatever. So, I mean, I can keep going, but y'all get it. Like, every single race imaginable is there. Like, and I know you could probably Google it. Well, what are the actual numbers of the demographic? Just trust me. You ain't gonna notice. Like, I feel like it's so much of everybody everywhere, no matter what part of town you go to. Like, unless of course you go like just smack to the hood, then like it's great. So diversity wise, you are winning. Washington DC is a winning diversity place. Like, and I might as well just talk about the people because I'm talking about that. People are all pretty cool. I mean, I think it's like anywhere else where like, if you give off positive energy, you'll usually get that back. If you're a negative Nancy, you'll probably find yourself a negative crowd. Like, it honestly just depends on who you are. Like, I feel like every single person has every single group. If you're more of a hippie, you'll find your hippie vibe. If you're more of you like being in the streets, you'll find that vibe. If you're more of a party person, you'll find that vibe. If you're a museum, arts, you think of it, it's there. So, yeah, get right into, all right, so we know the people, diversity, amazing. The weather. I mean, it's the East Coast. You get all 4. All right, so you get fall, winter, spring, summer. All right, like I personally moved away because I didn't like the winter, freaking freezing. And I know people love dressing in layers. So if you're not used to the 4 seasons and you're thinking about going there, just know it might be cold, but like people enjoy that because now they can drop the layers. You know, in summer, you might rock your shorts and a shirt, right? And then in the winter, you got the vest on with the sweater, with the hat, with the boots, like, and they going crazy. So just know it's a lot of swag there. So like people, like I'm gonna try not to curse, but people gonna fuck them up, like based off the weather. Like they coming out with all, your closet gonna be crazy. Like my closet here out in Cali, man, I think the heaviest thing I got is a super light hoodie. I enjoy that though. Like, so yeah, that's what you're getting with weather-wise, all right? Places to go, everything. I mean, if you into the museums, you go down to the monument. You go down to you can go visit the White House. You can go visit the Lincoln Memorial. It's endless art places. If you are into the nightlife scene, you got U Street, you got Adams Morgan, you got Georgetown, you got H Street, and the thing is, the city not that big. So it's literally 15 and I guess I'll get there. I'm going too fast. I'm getting hyped for y'all. So the thing is, everything is within proximity of each other. DC is not a huge place, all right? So like if you want to, you could legit, I have went out in DuPont Circle, okay? And you're gonna learn all this once you get there, unless you already know it. I've went out in DuPont Circle, lit, bar, club, going everywhere. Literally, I'm like, all right, I'm in the mood for a different vibe. Leave there, Uber 10 minutes, I'm on U Street. All right, and it's a whole different vibe there. Streets is packed, streets is crowded. I'm like, yeah. Like, so I think that's one of the biggest perks, that DC is not that big. So you can literally just migrate from place to place throughout the night. You can never fail. Because if you turn around and go to one spot and it's not lit, you can literally just go to another spot. It's like your night isn't over. You don't got to Uber 30, 40 minutes lit with your friends and y'all, by the time y'all get there, everybody hungry and night's over. No. Like, oh, things do close around 2 a.m. though. Let me throw that out there. So you probably want to after move if, you know, that's your vibe, you know, and that's not difficult to achieve either. So just throwing that out there. I can give more details if y'all like ask, but whatever. So, oh, and there's day parties too. So let's throw that out there before I get off that subject. Day parties lit. Ozio, you're going to hear about that. What? Man, Marvin's might have closed during the pandemic, but like I had to research that one a little bit more. So yeah, but day parties is lit too. So you got something to do. Griffin's day parties lit. So like you got a day move, you got a night move. Like all the spots is gonna be diverse. So that's a huge plus. Yeah, that kind of goes over the turn up. Cost of living, it actually depends where you're from. So I'm born and raised in DC, so I'm used to that cost of living. I can compare it to like the South, because when I was living in North Carolina, it's definitely more expensive than the South. If you're going up north towards like New York, I'd say we're comparable. Yeah, you know, we're right there. West Coast, I'd say we're pretty close too. But the only thing is, like on the West Coast, they got crazy stuff like car registration, like $600. In DC, it's not like that. Car registration, $110 for the year. You know what I mean? One like 60 for 2 years. So there's a bunch of little random stuff out here on the West Coast that you be like, wait, what? I gotta pay for what? Like, so, man, overall, that's gonna be my complete video for y'all. If you want more details about DC, you got any extra questions you really want me to break down, like, you know, what places, what parts should you live in if this is your vibe, or like what's some good nighttime spots. I mean, you want me to do some videos, some random clips of me out places, and I'm kind of, you know, doing that double breakdown. I could do that. Like, yeah, DC is the vibe, man. So like if you plan on moving to DC, go ahead and make that happen. All right, like I think it's a great move. It's something great to experience. People will ask me, why did you move away then? You just talked all positive. Oh, all right, let me try to find a con. Let me be honest. The con to DC is the reason I moved away. So the reason I honestly moved away from DC is the scenery. All right, I love the city, okay? And I love being near the city. Like, that's literally out here. So I live in the Bay right now, if anybody's wondering, because I keep saying the West Coast. And I love being near SF and all this stuff. I like the city vibe. But the big thing for me is scenery. I enjoy oceans and mountains and stuff like that. And the more I traveled the world, the more I wanted to be around that. And naturally, of course, DC doesn't have an ocean or mountains. Like, you can, I mean, you got a couple lakes. Like, and you could, like, go to Delaware, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours away, to like Rehoboth Beach, and that's where a lot of people go. Or they go to Ocean City, which is in Maryland, or they go to Virginia Beach. So all these places are like an hour to 2 hours away to get your beach vibe. Mountains, though, you ain't gonna really find that. I mean, I guess the Appalachian Mountains, I ain't even been up there, and that's in Maryland, probably like an hour away from DC, or maybe an hour and a half. I have no idea. But like, you can probably find that vibe as close as possible, but I like riding down the highway and just looking over and like seeing, you know, mountains and oceans. It just gives me a great vibe, a great energy. That's me. That's how I like being. So that is the reason why I moved away from DC, is because of the scenery. I just wanted to change up like that whole city vibe and like get this like surreal like type of energy. So yeah, you know, that's about everything I got for you, man. Any questions, comments, you feel me? Just drop them down into the comment section. I'll do my best to help you out. If y'all want to see some videos about anything else East Coast related, like I can definitely help you out with that. My next video is probably going to show how I moved from DC to Cali. So like if you're moving cross country, you can see the way that I went about it to make it the cheapest for me and also the most convenient for me. And then I'm gonna, you know, talk a little bit about how it is living out here in Cali too, like in the Bay Area, and I'm gonna break down all that. So man, hope all y'all enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, 2Ham Nation, 2Ham is out.